What if I told you the most powerful tool you have isn't your talent, your background, or your resources, but your mindset? The world hands out challenges to everyone. Rejection, failure, setbacks. No one is immune. But the people who rise, the ones who defy every odd and build lives of greatness, all have one thing in common. They choose to lead with a positive attitude when negativity is the easier option. They don't wait for things to change. They change themselves. Because once your perspective shifts, your life does too. This isn't a motivational slogan. It's a truth backed by experience, struggle, and relentless growth. And once you realize that energy, attitude, and belief shape your reality, you stop looking for the world to give you power and start creating your own. We spend so much of our lives believing that the difference between those who succeed and those who don't is talent, or luck, or timing. But what if the real game changer isn't any of those? What if the secret isn't in something external, but something internal? Your mindset? A positive attitude is more than just thinking happy thoughts. It's a daily choice. It's mental armor. It's a lens that determines how you see challenge, failure, and even success. Thousands of people have the same skills, the same environment, the same dreams, but they all arrive at different outcomes. Why? Because of how they think. The ones who rise are rarely the ones with the perfect background. They're the ones who keep showing up when the odds are stacked against them. They see rejection as redirection. They convert pressure into power. They aren't waiting for opportunities. They're preparing for them. Most importantly, they believe in possibility even when everything around them screams, give up. You may not be able to control what happens outside of you, but you can always control what happens inside. And that shift is everything. Your breakthrough doesn't begin when things start going right. It begins the moment you decide to think differently. The world tries to convince you that your situation determines your outcome. But every success story once started in a storm. A season of confusion, doubt, and delay. What made the difference wasn't the circumstances changing. It was the person changing. When you change the story you're telling yourself, you change the future you're writing. A positive mindset isn't about pretending hardship doesn't exist. It's about looking adversity in the eye and whispering, I'm not done. Do you know how powerful that is? To choose hope when hopelessness surrounds you. To choose action when fear tries to freeze you. The mind is your greatest ally or your worst enemy. It's the voice that says, you're capable or you're not enough. And you get to decide which one dominates. You're not stuck because of your potential. You're stuck because you've forgotten how powerful your thinking is. Begin again with belief. Train your mind to see challenge as fuel. Because that's where transformation begins, not outside your comfort zone, but inside your consciousness. Most people treat positive thinking like it's some magic button, something they apply only when they're feeling down. But mindset isn't something you borrow in hard moments. It's something you build in everyday decisions. Just like muscles grow stronger with repeated effort, your mind grows stronger with intentional thought. Optimism isn't a gift you're born with. It's a choice you make. And the more you choose it, the more natural it becomes. You rewire your brain, you rebuild your confidence. Positivity isn't pretending everything is fine. It's refusing to let negativity win. Every setback, every criticism, every no you receive is a test, and your response is the answer. Will you retreat or will you rise? Positivity doesn't mean ignoring reality. It means meeting reality with unshakable belief. It's waking up with the courage to try again. It's choosing focus in chaos. It's holding on to vision when no one else can see it. And every time you do that, you get stronger. Not just emotionally, but mentally, spiritually, and psychologically. This isn't about mind tricks. This is about mindset training. And in the gym of life, your next level starts with one rep, the right attitude now. Here's a truth most don't want to admit. Your situation is not always your choice, but your attitude always is. Life will throw curveballs, jobs will fall through, people will disappoint you. plans will derail. But it's not what happens to you that defines your destiny. It's how you respond. There are people who've faced unimaginable loss, yet still radiate strength and joy. There are others who've had every advantage, but still complain and stay stuck. Why? Because attitude is the great separator. A positive mindset doesn't mean life gets easier. It means you get stronger. Resilience doesn't come from comfort. It comes from choosing belief when the pain is real, from standing up when you've been knocked down 1,000 times, from refusing to let one moment of struggle define your entire story. You don't need a perfect future handed to you. You need the perspective to fight for one. Attitude isn't everything. It's the thing that influences everything. It affects your energy, your execution, and your endurance. So if you can shift your attitude in the fire, you can walk out of it forged, not broken. We're careful about what we eat, what we wear, even what we post online, but rarely do we pause to ask, what am I feeding my mind? Because just like your body adapts to what you eat, your life begins to reflect the thoughts you consume. Negativity is everywhere, in headlines, on social media, in conversations with people who live in complaint mode. And if you're not actively protecting your mindset, you will absorb it without even meaning to. A positive mindset isn't self-centered, it's self-respect. It's choosing what enters your mental space the same way you'd protect your home. You wouldn't leave your front door open to anything and anyone. So why do we do it with our thoughts? You must become selective. What you watch, who you listen to, the scroll you get lost in, because your attention is currency, and what you invest in multiplies. So if you're always anxious, tired, uninspired, maybe the issue isn't your ambition, maybe it's your input. Guard your mind like your future depends on it, because it absolutely does. Most people walk through life trained to see what's wrong, what's broken, what might go badly. It's a mindset of constant defense, staying guarded, prepared for disappointment. But what if you trained yourself to look differently? What if instead of always spotting problems, your instinct was to see possibilities? That's what a positive attitude does. It doesn't deny obstacles. It chooses to look beyond them. It sees failure as feedback. It sees setbacks as setup for something better. This doesn't mean that pain isn't felt or that challenges don't hurt. It simply means you refuse to stay small because life got tough. People with growth mindsets don't waste time victimizing themselves. They ask empowering questions. What is this teaching me? How can I grow here? What can I build from this? This reframe is everything, because once you change your focus, you change your energy. And once your energy shifts, so do your outcomes. What you focus on expands. Feed progress, not panic. Nurture potential, not pity. In every moment, you have a decision to shrink with fear or stretch with faith. Choose faith. Choose forward. There's a reason some people keep going when others quit, even when both face the same rejection, the same hardship, the same silence. What makes the difference isn't luck. It's fire. The unrelenting willpower deep within that refuses to let pain define the path. That fire isn't external. You don't get it from applause or validation. It's internal. It burns quietly in you, sparked by belief and fueled by perspective. A positive outlook keeps that flame alive. Because when the world feels cold, when nothing's working, when no one's cheering, a resilient attitude becomes your warmth. Think of it like this: every time you choose to keep going, even when things are uncertain, you're adding wood to your inner fire. One decision, one thought, one courageous step at a time. That fire doesn't grow on its own. It needs your effort, your perspective, your patience. No one hands you more hope. You build it. Let that be your standard. Build a fire so strong inside that no wind of doubt or rejection can blow it out. Because storms will come. Let your mindset burn brighter. Rejection can feel like a stop sign, like the universe screaming, "You're not enough." But what if rejection wasn't a denial? What if it was direction? A redirection towards something better. The most resilient people see rejection not as a personal failure, but as a closed door protecting them from misalignment. A positive mindset rewires your reaction to no. Instead of shutting down, you become curious. You investigate. You evolve. Every rejection becomes a tool, not a wound. Rejection forces reflection. Was this right for me? What have I gained? What's opening that I couldn't see before? And the truth is, rejection builds more than wisdom. It builds strength. It teaches you your limits and pushes you to expand them. It teaches patience, emotional control, and grit. The most powerful belief you can hold in a rejection season is this: something better is coming, but I need to become someone sharper to receive it. So don't just survive your rejections. Learn through them, grow through them, rise because of them. Let them redirect you to your real path. We protect our bodies from sickness. But what about our minds? You need habits that protect your mindset with the same intensity you protect your health. Because negativity is viral, doubt spreads, fear multiplies, and if you're not actively building mental immunity, you'll catch it. A positive mindset acts like the brain's immune system. It fights off thoughts that don't serve you. It filters out voices that weaken your drive. But just like immunity in the body, it only works if it's consistently supported. That means daily check-ins. What am I thinking? Air these thoughts, creating confidence or chaos. Mental immunity isn't about silencing negativity. It's about not letting negativity shape your reality. Just like you drink water, eat clean, or rest for your physical health, you must program your mind with mental strength, with gratitude, vision, boundaries, silence, and truth. The world will always try to infect your peace. But you get to decide whether that negativity enters or reflects off your mindset. Guard it like it's sacred, because it is. A strong mindset doesn't just think better, it acts better. One of the fastest ways to break from negativity is to choose motion over mental stagnation. Most people aren't stuck because they're lazy. They're stuck because they're paralyzed by overthinking. They've replayed the same fear, doubt, and plan B so many times that forward momentum feels impossible. But growth lives on the other side of that stuckness. And movement, any movement, shatters fear's illusion. The truth is, confidence doesn't precede action. It follows it. You don't wait to feel strong to act. You act your way into strength. A positive mindset doesn't just dream, it does. While others wait for clarity, the positive thinker creates it through action. One brave step at a time. This is where transformation begins. Not with full certainty, but with commitment. You start building trust with yourself through follow-through. And every time you do, your brain takes notes. We're doing this. We're capable. So if you're stuck in your head, come back into your body. Take a step, then another. Action is courage in motion. You don't become positive by declaring it once. You become positive by repeating the mindset, the energy, and the habits until they form your identity. The person who says, "I want to be confident," won't become confident by wishing, only by repeatedly acting with courage. Repetition is the architecture of reality. Want to build optimism? Then speak like someone who believes. Respond like someone who grows. Keep promises to yourself again and again. Every time you affirm your worth, one quiet moment at a time, your brain rewires and your identity strengthens. People misunderstand growth. They think it's a breakout moment. It's not. Real growth is subtle. It happens every time you choose the stronger response, the wiser word, the calmer tone, even when you don't feel like it. A positive mindset isn't a burst of hype. It's cultivated through discipline, through what you do repeatedly, not occasionally. You are what you practice. And the more you choose peace over panic, purpose over procrastination, action over self-doubt, the more you become the person you were meant to be. That change doesn't demand perfection. It demands consistency. We live in a goal-obsessed world, chasing numbers, milestones, trophies. And while ambition is important, obsessing over outcomes can drain your energy and derail your focus. A positive mindset does something radical. It detaches your worth from success and attaches your power to effort. This is how you remain unshaken when life delays your breakthrough. When you focus only on what you can control, your input, You free yourself from the anxiety of prediction. You show up more fully, pour in more passionately, and remain more grounded because you're no longer performing for applause. You're doing the work because you believe in it. That belief creates excellence. It expands endurance. Think of athletes who perform with poise even when they're losing. That's not luck or personality. That's mindset training. They've chosen to attach respect to their discipline, not just their results. And when the results finally arrive, it's just a bonus. Detachment is not apathy, it's wisdom. So stop letting your self-worth fluctuate with metrics. Start measuring progress through integrity, effort, and presence. Because that's success no one can take away. Dreams are fragile in the beginning. They don't get destroyed by failure. They get destroyed by criticism, comparison, and self-doubt. That's why you need to protect your vision while it's still growing. Not everything needs to be shared. Some goals require silence until they're strong enough to stand. A positive mindset knows when to build in private. It knows when not to seek validation. Because truthfully, the more you chase approval, the more you dilute possibility. Protecting your vision means guarding your energy, your time, and your attention from things that make you question your capacity. There's a quiet strength in knowing what you want, but not needing to prove it. The world will tell you to post more, shout louder, compete faster. But you don't need to play their game. You're building something real, and real things take time. Let your actions be your announcement. Let growth speak where words used to. Stay loyal to the path, even when it's slow, because steady belief, protected and consistent, always becomes evident in time. You don't need louder dreams. You need deeper roots. When everything feels like it's falling apart, gratitude is the glue that holds you together. It's not just a feel-good idea for tough times. It's a strategy. Because gratitude anchors your mind to what's working, even in moments of chaos. It redirects your attention from lack to abundance, from stress to perspective. When negativity starts building momentum, gratitude disrupts it. It reminds your heart, you've overcome before. You're still standing. There's still beauty around you. A positive mindset isn't only built during wins. It's built in how you respond to the hard days. And nothing strengthens your response like grateful awareness. Think of it like mental weightlifting. Every thank you in pain adds strength to your resilience. Every look around, every deep breath, every moment you choose to see the gift behind the challenge, you grow. Gratitude turns ordinary days into powerful perspective shifts. It brings your attention to what's here now instead of what's missing. And when you live in that space, your energy changes. So don't just express thanks once a year. Make it a habit, a mindset, an anchor for every storm. We are deeply conditioned to believe there's not enough. Not enough time, not enough opportunities, not enough success to go around. This scarcity mindset is a lie, and it's killing your progress. When you believe life is limited, you compete instead of create. You compare instead of focus. You operate from fear, not possibility. A positive mindset breaks that lie. It says, there is room for you to grow, room for others to thrive, room for your dream to exist. That doesn't mean it will be easy. It means it's possible. Scarcity shuts down your courage before you even begin, but abundance, it opens you up. It shifts your behavior from reactive to proactive. Suddenly, you're not threatened by someone else's success. You're inspired by it. You can acknowledge what you lack without lowering your energy, because the moment you choose lack, you sacrifice creativity. But when you adopt an abundant mindset, creativity flows, solutions appear, energy increases. Remember, you don't have to compete for what's meant for you. What you build within yourself determines what you access outside. Choose abundance. There's more than enough strength, space, and success for your story too. There is a conversation happening inside you every day, and it's shaping your life much more than any external noise. That voice you hear when you fail, when you're tired, when you're unsure. That voice becomes your compass, your guide, your motivator, or your enemy. A powerful mindset isn't silent, it's trained. Train to speak truth. Train to interrupt sabotage. Train to be kind yet firm. Most people let their inner voice run wild, recycling doubt, judgment, and fear. But the people who build unbreakable confidence, they curate their inner dialogue. They speak the final word, not their fear. Positive thinking isn't toxic when paired with honesty. It's leadership of your own mind. It's saying, yes, this is hard, this hurts, I failed, but I am not done. How you talk to yourself after a setback creates the next step. Do you spiral or stabilize? Do you freeze or find your footing? This self-talk is the difference between bouncing back or breaking down. Start using your voice as a weapon, not a wound. Train your mind to encourage more than it criticizes, and watch your life shift from hesitation to boldness. Perfection is a lie sold to dreamers, a trap disguised as ambition. You think once everything is flawless, complete, and polished, then you'll finally move. But perfection doesn't lead to purpose. Purpose kills perfection. The person with a positive mindset knows momentum matters more than mastery. They don't wait to feel perfectly ready. They begin messy. They act uncertain. Because they understand that execution beats ideation every time. You weren't created to be flawless. You were created to be growing. And movement is growth. Don't let the fear of imperfection delay the life that progress can build. Start where it's uncomfortable. Publish the messy draft. Launch the rough idea. Speak even if your voice shakes. The dreamers who make it are rarely the ones with the cleanest plan. They're the ones who start anyway. Perfection demands performance. Purpose demands presence. And presence is where joy flow and alignment live. Reframe your mindset. Rather than aiming to look perfect, aim to live authentically. Through imperfect persistence, your true power emerges. Positivity doesn't mean saying yes to everyone. In fact, one of the strongest signs of self-respect is the power to say no. A positive mindset is not polite passivity. It's intentional energy. Boundaries are how you protect that energy. When you don't have boundaries, you leak focus, lose clarity, and feel constantly drained. Not because life is too hard, but because you're too accessible. Say no to the calls that rob your attention. Say no to the environments that feed your doubt. Say no to people who always drain you but never pour into you. This isn't selfish. It's smart. You're not meant to burn out just to impress or please. You're meant to shine by alignment, not by exhaustion. Healthy boundaries guard your mindset. They preserve your fire. They keep your dreams from being trampled by distractions. You cannot soar if you're weighted by constant obligation. Remember, every yes to something misaligned is a no to something meaningful. Don't just protect your time, protect your presence. Choose wisely where your energy goes, because wherever it flows, your future grows. You don't need someone else to believe in you before you begin. Stop waiting for validation to act, for applause to affirm you, for permission to rise. A positive mindset breaks the cycle of second guessing. It reinforces that your value isn't confirmed by others. It's confirmed by the vision inside you. Most people spend their lives looking outward. Do they like my work? Am I good enough? Will they approve? But waiting for others to believe lowers your power. Every day you hesitate, someone else moves forward with half your potential but double your self-trust. Confidence isn't granted, it's claimed. Built when you stop asking, "Can I?" and start saying, "I already am." Your job is not to convince the world to accept you. Your job is to convince yourself you're ready. Yes, keep learning, keep improving, but act now. Do not let your worth stay hostage to opinion. The door you're waiting to be invited through, you can build your own. Permission is an illusion. The only person who needs to believe in you right now is already listening. It's you. Pain is inevitable, but suffering is a choice. The most powerful people aren't the ones with perfect lives. They're the ones who transform their wounds into wisdom. A positive mindset doesn't ignore pain. It repurposes it. It says, "This hurt, but it won't be wasted." Because when pain is processed with perspective, it becomes fuel. Every heartbreak you've faced, every setback you've endured, every rejection that shook your soul was a test. And you're still here, still breathing, still capable. That means you passed. Now turn the lessons into light. Start seeing the story you're writing not just as trauma, but as training. Your scars aren't shameful. They are signals. They say, I've been through something, but I haven't stopped building. Let your brokenness be the birthplace of strength. Let your emptiness become the space where something fuller can grow. Your past pain doesn't define you, but it can refine you. So stop hiding your hard chapters. Stand on them, speak from them. Help the person one step behind you who needs your voice. When you use your pain loses its power, and you gain yours. You don't need a title to lead. You lead by how you carry yourself. And carrying a strong, positive mindset is one of the most influential things you can offer the world. Why? Because energy is contagious. In a room full of chaos, the person who stays grounded, calm, and focused, they lead the room. You become the anchor others didn't even realize they needed. Not by being the loudest, not by being the smartest, but by being the most certain. When you walk with clarity, others feel safer. When you handle setbacks with strength, others feel hopeful. This is the power of inner leadership, leading through example, not just expertise. Positivity isn't just helpful, it's magnetic. When people see you choosing courage over excuses, growth over gossip, and purpose over pity, they notice. Not always out loud, but always energetically. This is how movements start. Through consistency, not charisma. Through mindset, not manipulation. You want to impact the world? Start with the atmosphere you bring into every space. Your energy leads before your words do. Choose it intentionally. There are two ways to view success: as a window or as a mirror. Most people look through a window, constantly watching others' achievements, others' timelines, others' opinions. And through this window, doubt creeps in. I'm behind. I'm not enough. I should be further. But real transformation happens when you replace the window with a mirror, when you evaluate your growth, not by what others are doing, but by who you're becoming. The mirror holds you accountable, but it also reminds you of your power. You can't control their path, but you can absolutely shape your own. A positive mindset doesn't obsess over competition. It uses alignment as its compass, not comparison. The mirror asks, am I living my values? Am I honoring my potential? And when the answer is yes, you're already winning, even if no one sees it yet. Don't waste another hour chasing someone else's dream. Develop your own. Let the mirror reflect honest progress, and let that guide your momentum. This is where peace lives, in choosing your pace, your purpose, and your personal power. In today's world, everyone wants things fast, quick success, instant results, viral validation. But here's a truth that transcends all shortcuts: speed without clarity leads to burnout. You can't outrun confusion. You can only outsmart it through intention. Purpose-driven people don't panic when things are slow. They use the pause to get clear. They understand that a fast, wrong direction is more dangerous than a slow, right one. You don't need more hustle. You need more alignment. A positive mindset isn't just about energy, it's about direction. You ask the hard questions: what actually matters to me? What am I pretending not to see? What needs to change? And then you move accordingly. When clarity drives your calendar, every task has meaning. Every decision has momentum. You begin living by design, not default. Don't measure growth by how busy you are. Measure it by how intentional you are. In clarity, you create rhythm. In rhythm, you build mastery. And in mastery, fulfillment lives. Things will go wrong, life will test you, plans will change. But a trained mind stays unshakable. That doesn't mean you won't feel emotion. It means your emotion won't decide your identity. You breathe through the fear, you stand in the storm. You remember who you are before the chaos began. When you lead with a positive attitude, you build resilience. Every trial becomes training. Every hard moment reinforces your foundation. And before you know it, what once broke you now builds you. The things that used to trigger you now teach you. The deadlines don't scare you. The silence doesn't silence you. You've built something in you that no one sees but everyone feels. Certainty. And certainty isn't arrogance, it's self-trust. It's the deep knowing that you will not break no matter what life throws. Because you've seen yourself survive, you've seen yourself continue, and that's where true strength begins. Not on your record, but in your response. When your mindset is anchored in purpose, no wave can pull you off course. That's what makes you different. That's what makes you dangerous to mediocrity. You've read enough, watched enough, waited long enough. This is your moment, not to dream more, but to decide more. The person who becomes unshakable, unstoppable, unforgettable isn't the most gifted. They're the most committed, committed to growth, committed to perspective, committed to the mindset that says, no matter how hard it gets, I keep going. That's the shift that changes everything. Your attitude becomes your anchor. Your thoughts become your fuel, and your life begins to reflect the strength of your standards. So start now, not tomorrow. Not when you're ready, not when you feel confident, but now, in the very time you think you're not enough. Because you are, you always were. You just needed to believe it long enough to see it. This is your next level. Claim it. No more waiting.